we've had big scandals in recruiting forever. But right now, big scandal at one of the premier teams in all of college sports and for Louisville, and one of the premier names in coaching, Rick Pitino. We've got Ole Miss embroiled in this problem in top-of-line SEC football, biggest conferences, biggest teams. What value is diminished by such a scandal?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm sad to say that these types of scandals are not new in college sports. I mean, for decades.
I've been covering it, I know.
So that's unfortunate. There are bad actors and good actors in a lot of different industries. And, in college sports, there's so much pressure to win. There's so much interest and so much fervor around this.
But we get that. But I guess I'm thinking from your standpoint as someone running a business. What's the business risk when these scandals happen?
Well, one of my most important priorities is ensuring the integrity of the competition and protecting the student athletes. And both those things are violated when you see scandals like these. So that's what I worry about most.
What do we need that's not in place? I mean, the NCAA has been, fighting against this kind of thing in some ways that have been helpful, surely some ways that have been really a pain in the butt and making things difficult. What's needed that's not being done?
Well, I think one of the things this points out recently is, the FBI having spent 2 years on this and having access to things like wiretaps and insiders and videotaping conversations in hotel rooms, has resources, they have subpoena power. They're talking about throwing people in jail. I mean, these are things the NCAA can't do in police. So I think this is going to lead to a re-examination of what types of resources get thrown against enforcement. But there are many other issues that certainly I need to reflect on with our universities and with leaders of the other conferences in the NCAA about the overall culture, the role of youth basketball, shoe companies, education, and frankly the culture and the pressure to win. I think everyone needs to look in the mirror about the culture.
The culture to win is not going to go away. But I wonder, the way the NCC has traditionally fought this, a thing that has been true going back to the 60s, and is keeping money away from students, and it hasn't worked because these scandals keep happening. Do you think there should be a dialogue about allowing players to earn money in some way and benefit from all the revenues that we're talking about coming from Alibaba, coming from Kabam, coming from everybody else that's throwing money, Nike and Adidas and everybody else throwing money at the sports?
It's constantly examined and discussed, and there are a lot of lawsuits out there currently. There are those, and a lot of lawyers out there that would like to see college sports go away as we know it, and just have it become a free market and pre-professional.
But what do you think? Like, do you think there should be discussion about actually allowing players to somehow participate in the revenue streams that you are bringing into college sports?
We do. We discuss it all the time. But I believe strongly in the collegiate model and that these are students, not employees. So that's the threshold question. I certainly believe that. The presidents of our universities believe that. And so no one is in favor of paying salaries or having some free market for students. Because we want young men and women to go to school to have the opportunity for an education, access to get the benefits of going to school so that they can be successful in life afterward. And I think what gets missed in this conversation is only 2% of student athletes in our conference go on to play football or basketball professionally in any way.
And that's more than most conferences.
Yeah, right. I mean, we had the number one draft choice in the NFL and the NBA this year. Right. So we've got the best of the best, the elite of the elite. But the foundation for college athletics in the Pac-12 and everywhere is the 98%. We've got 7,000 student athletes in the Pac-12 that are going to have an amazing experience and be more successful in life after their experience because of college athletics. Many of them, first in their family to go to school, they're getting their education paid for, a lot of medical support, a lot of training, they can compete at the highest level, and many are getting into a better school than they would get into otherwise. Or as a parent, right, everyone wants their kid to have access to get into a better school than they might based on their GPA or whatever. So college sports provides amazing opportunity for young men and women, and 98% of them are going on to do something else other than sport. The conversation tends to get centered around the 2% that are using college sports to then, as a pathway, to go to the NFL or NBA. And that's awesome that they have that opportunity. But that doesn't mean that should be the purpose of college athletics.